Last video, I wanted to build a town that bans all cars, and it seemed to be working great. People were arriving, parking their car outside the city and then walking to their home. But I was wrong. Wrong in assuming that City Skylines 2 would actually fix problems like the one where cars just ignore pedestrian streets and drive on them anyway. What happened in my city seems like they actually fixed the problem, but they did not. This is what my city looks right now, a massive traffic jam, and here's the problem. I used these beautiful houses from the Netherlands region pack, and those don't have parking spaces. Therefore, people were forced to walk here since cars can't park on pedestrian streets. But as soon as I started zoning some of the normal buildings, the higher density ones, these ones, look right here, these have parking spaces. And therefore people are now taking their car from all the way over here into the pedestrian street. Look at all these normal cars and they're just driving to their home. So let's fix this by deleting the entry street and by building a brand new city on the same map, this time truly without any cars or taxis. Here we go. To get a clean new start, let's purchase some tiles. These beautiful ones right here for 117k. Purchase, and now let's take a look. On our new plot of land, we have a normal alleyway. We are not going to need that one. After all, we don't want any cars. But the reason I bought this tile is because of the access to this train line, which will be key in building our car-free utopia.
Trains. Wow.
So let's start our city around a train station. I love this Mediterranean one. It's quite big, but we're going to make it work. Just right here, then connect it all up. We're not gonna need all of these rail lines anyway, so I left one empty. From here, we are only going to need the pedestrian streets, but for a moment, let's appreciate this train station. Such a nice asset, but we're sidetracking. Massive pedestrian street. Oh, there is an actual road in the way. Let's delete that one up until the power station. I built out the pedestrian streets even further, but now I am out of money. So let's quickly take a massive loan for this project, 2.9 million. I think we can make it back. So I finished the road layout and I immediately started zoning. Low rent housing in the back, then medium density, European high density, a bunch of businesses, as well as offices to work, some traditional housing right here in front of the main train station, and a bit of room to expand later. Until now, there is no water and sewage hooked up. Good thing we can just use the existing one from the old city. Same thing with electricity. Good thing there is a transformer station right here. That way we are covered with all the basic services. But people are not able to arrive yet in the city, even though businesses are already zoning in. There is no way to get to here. So let's start a rail line from this beautiful Italian train station all the way to the outside and back. Also, I am connecting this train line with the train station in our old city, so people can move over to this new utopia. Let's get that in. And here we go. We have the first trains arriving with the first people. And now see, this whole section here has no outside connection to any street. So there's no way any cars can arrive since there's no train that carries cars. And therefore these are the only people that can exist here. And they don't have a car. In short, this is how you get a car-free city, but there's still so much more things to do. I mean, so far we only really have offices. There's no industry, there's almost no homes, and we still have a massive loan that we need to pay back. This video will only end once we make a whole lot of money. So there's no choice other than to continue. This part of town seems to be really popular. It's growing fast. Let's actually draw in a district. That way we can monitor it more closely. Let's call it Pedestrian Utopia, and we can see there's 1,500 people living here, 600 employees, and the average wealth is poor. We are definitely going to change that. First of all, people still want services, so let's give them a small medical clinic, a cemetery, even an elementary school, and some small parks along the train station to make people happy. That way we are really using up some of the dead space here. And To keep pedestrian connectivity high, let's build a bridge over all these rail lines and connect that up down here. Honestly, that looks pretty good. Now people can cross over these rail lines and a lot of people are arriving. Look at this. It's a really busy train station and there's no cars anywhere to be seen. Look at this. It is everywhere so walkable. People really seem to love this place. But there's also a lot of other demand we are not covering, like industry, but I can't just zone industry right here in the city. That would pollute everything. The great thing with rail lines and the amount of people they can carry, let's just buy a new tile all the way over here. Just this one for 55,000. Here we go. Then we add a small train station, connect it all up. Let's give it some roads, just so we have a large area to zone, get down a lot of industry, as well as some wind turbines for electricity, water and sewage. Yeah, I'm just dumping it right here on the ground and hopefully it will just flow into this river. A lot of buildings are zoning, but no one can get here yet. So we actually need this next rail line to be connected up. Just that there is this pillar of the pedestrian bridge in the way. We need to delete it for a short while. Also, I did manage to connect it up somehow, not in the cleanest way, but I think it works. Then a new passenger line from this inside route all the way over to our new industrial area that is really booming right now. Connect it up. And here we have our first worker arriving. Look at them, this guy with the yellow shirt, manual wellers, going to work right here in this building, all by foot without a vehicle. We're out of electricity, but we also need a lot more room to expand our industry. So let's purchase more tiles, build up more wind energy capacity. And with all this new space, we can zone a whole lot more and cover tons of demand, even unlocking the first special industrial buildings. These are pretty powerful due to their citywide modifications, giving 1% industrial efficiency citywide. A lot of things are zoning in. More and more people, look at this train, are arriving here to work, while at the same time more and more people are moving into our pedestrian utopia. But we are also facing a new problem. Look at this small medical clinic. It's running out of supplies, specifically pharmaceuticals, and this is because there's no way they can arrive in the city. We just have pedestrian trains. So what we actually need are these cargo train terminals. So let's get one in right here, connect it up with the existing rail lines. Train interchanges are always so interesting to see. And next we need another cargo train terminal over here where all the industrial stuff is produced. Good thing we took a massive loan because all this stuff is really expensive to build. But now we got two cargo terminals and we can just connect them up with each other. And since an outside connection for cargo would probably also be great, let's upgrade it not only with an extra cargo hub, but also a storage facility. And we can now add another route from our pedestrian utopia to an outside connection. That way we're covered for all eventualities, and monitoring this hospital, we should soon no longer have the problem of low supplies. Next up, we should make people happy. They are complaining about unreliable mail service. Therefore, let's get in a post office. That one actually also would not work without the cargo train terminal. And then people are complaining about crime. So let's give them a small police station. We can build out this cute area here with some pedestrian paths. I mean, look at it. This always makes things look way nicer. Population is growing, but we are also bleeding a lot of money. This looks far from being profitable. So first, let's get in some more businesses. We can even build high density businesses. We unlocked that with the last milestone, and we can put down more of the special buildings that give citywide bonuses. And finally, let's try to manage our city budget at least a bit. The largest part is service upkeep. Oh, I'm just seeing in the top left, we have electricity problems over here. Let's quickly solve those. That way we are not losing any valuable tax revenue. Back to the budget. Our most expensive service is healthcare, spending a total of 500k. I think there's not much we can do here. Same as with education, transportation, parks and so on. It's not really that we're spending a lot of money with 1.2 million a month. It's that we're not making that much, but our residential taxes are also at 0. But first, let's put back up industrial taxes to 10%. And we're spending $500,000 in loan interest. So let's try to pay back as much of the loan as we can. Now we are in negative money land, still losing 400k a month. Let's remedy that with some residential taxes. This puts us well back within profit. And at 8%, it's not too bad yet. Funnily enough, there is a massive traffic jam right here. I'm not really sure why. That's just a normal street. We will never have that because, well, we just have people that are walking. And look at this busy train station. That is pretty amazing. And if we look at the whole district, there is now 10,000 people living here. Quite a good rate. Somehow, most of them are still poor, but I think over time buildings will upgrade. For now, we have a lot of demand for medium density, so let's just zone more of that. And we have large demand for businesses, so let's try to expand further over here. This time a somewhat organic layout. Let's get in some offices and then a bunch of high density businesses. That should result in a whole lot more taxes. And finally, let's do a thing that will really improve our budget. You will know what this trick is if you watch all my videos. At the end of the street, let's just build the Grand Dynasty Hotel. Here we have it. And what that does to our city budget is just crazy. We're now up 4 million a month, and all this money, let's quickly take back a loan and fix all the problems in this old city and get in some trash collection. So first, I deleted all the existing roads that have cars. Then I built them back with pedestrian streets. Note here, these roads are not connected. Next up, I built a cargo terminal for the old town, connecting it up, making this interchange with the trains even crazier. Look at how much traffic there is here. So many trains in one frame. I gave it a connection all the way to the outside. And I fixed all the problems of the old town. Mainly a lot of fires were breaking out. So they got the small Netherlands fire station. Look at this cute asset. Then there were still many problems with healthcare. So I added a full-size medical clinic, as well as a post office, a lot of mailboxes, and a bunch more of the special buildings. Oh, look right here, historical post office. This seems like a very nice asset. Let's try it out right here. Look at how nice that looks. Pretty big, also quite expensive, but maybe it will do its job. But more importantly, we are massively lacking trash collection. So I'm spending some of my first development points on the recycling center. This is the most sustainable option. I can fit in one right here, back in the area, all in between this rail infrastructure. Kind of makes sense here. Then let's get another one dedicated for the old town. And we have a lot more demand, so we can get back to zoning more stuff over here. A lot for high density, some medium density, and more businesses. I did the same thing taking care of the industrial area. I spent points on internet services. And after all this work, my people were finally fully satisfied and happy. Sure, there were still some indicators of garbage piling up, but look at how many garbage trucks are on their way. This problem will be solved very, very soon. And even better, the city is crazy profitable. So this is my take on the walking only city. I made the first video thinking that Colossal Order actually improved some things. It turns out they did not, but we still made it work. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing, and happy gaming.